So,
All right, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. It's been a while since I did a formal stream, but I'm doing this stream mostly just out of curiosity, really. I had a discussion on Discord, and there was a couple of criticisms of Hispanismo, and I'm always the type of person that likes to hear criticism from the other side. As long as it's valid, we keep it cordial and civil and with arguments and debates. And so we have someone here that obviously I'm friends with on Discord. And if you could just introduce yourself.
yeah, this is I used to go by Chichimeca or Jaln Boxing. Um, I used to be a part of Rancho's or Circle or the Momento Hispano Circle. And today I'm just gonna be explaining um why I find flaws in their circle and why I think people should kind of reject an invitation now to join his groups because for one I think he's allowed like mentally ill people in that group, and second I just feel like it's kind of like a larpy kind of thing and it's like unrealistic and they reject reality. I'm gonna talk about many different things. So yeah, so do I start right
Cool.
now?
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
or no
So
question?
yeah, just before we start, so this is not going to be, guys. This is not going to be like my election streams where I'm just gonna let them talk and not say anything myself. I think I'm gonna have to. I think it's gonna be like a little bit of a debate. So I'm gonna
Yeah, it's
counter
cool.
some of what you're saying if you're fine with that.
That's fine.
All right, cool. All right, without further ado, let's get it on. Let's go.
No, okay, so I was gonna say, so I first came into the Memento Hispano circle by the way of a couple of videos other YouTubers did, and I found Rancho's channel. And the thing about it is, when Rancho was preaching, I guess the first time I met him, right? I agreed. A lot of it was more so history, and me, being an American, sometimes you're a bit confused because, these the media kind of like leads you to believe a certain bull crap, and so me, I was a bit confused. I mean, not really confused, but a bit, because I'm like a whiter Hispanic, so I don't know if I should be, in that side or this side, right? And my history, I didn't know too much about it. And Rancho's channel, he provided good info, good history lessons, right, which taught me a lot. But then you can't be talking about the same thing forever, right? As a YouTube channel, you have to grow, and I understand that. So the first layer of Momento Hispano's channel was history, right, which is cool. And then the second layer was kind of like building or rebuilding Hispanidad and all that stuff, right? But to me, it's like the reason why I fell off is because me, I'm more so a person that believes in capitalism. I'm a capitalist, and what they say is, some of the things they say is just it's absurd, right? For one example, I'll give you is they say we have to work kind of like a if you want Hispanidad to return, you have to work more so in a monarchy, right? You have to work, as a society, which is cool, but that kind of takes away your freedom when you say shit like, "Oh, social mobility shouldn't exist," or there should be a hierarchy forced into society. Now, I just
Well,
no, I don't like
okay,
that
hold
because
up, hold up. I have to counter you on that. So we've touched on this point before, and I don't think any of us have ever said that social mobility must be static.
I have
If
I talked to them on Telegram and they said it.
No, I think so. The hierarchy part is definitely something that has been said. That I can confirm. But I think we've actually had this very same discussion. I think I was in that call on Telegram where you were
It
talking to
wasn't
OG about that.
it wasn't a call. It was through text. And I guess
Okay,
Rancho he didn't say it, but other people said it in Telegram too. That
okay,
social
okay.
mobility shouldn't exist and different things. Which look, I can agree with them in the aspect that a society will run better if you enforce these certain rules and certain laws, right? But the thing about me is, again, like I said, I'm a capitalist, so I think independently, right? So for me, I'm the type of person where I'm not gonna give up my wealth or a certain chunk of my wealth just so other Hispanics can be successful, right? Now you can call it selfish, and it maybe is selfish, right? But it's just the way I am. I can't change my personality, right? And that's just and they say capitalism is dynamic because you're independent and thinking for yourself is satanic in a way, the crazy shit they say. And I don't really pay too much attention to that, right? But it's almost, it's like, uh, for Hispanidad, at the end of the day, I mean, what they say, right? For Hispanidad to prosper, you have to work as a society. And when you do that, that's just not my style, because I like to work independently, you know. Because if you work as a society, you have to accept your role in society. Social mobility is not going to exist when you take on their beliefs, right? For why Hispanidad should prosper. It's just not my style. For example, one of the things they say is not everybody can be an entrepreneur, right? Which they're true, but I do believe everybody should be given the shot and they should try to be an entrepreneur, right? Like, the American lifestyle, in my opinion, this the lifestyle. It's the best lifestyle because it's freedom. It's freedom. Anybody can make money. Anybody can do what they want. And what they'll say is it'll create degeneracy. It will create the prostitutes or whatever, right? But me, it's just like, at the end of the day, man, I don't give a fuck, man. It's just money, It's just myself. I'm not gonna let other people's sexuality dictate my salary. I'm not gonna live poor just so my neighbors can be straight. Yeah, I don't care about other people, and that's just the lifestyle of capitalism, and that's one of the main reasons why I left their circle. Is like kind of like the absurd shit they would say sometimes, and me, I'm gonna be honest. I really, the history lessons they gave on um Hispanidad and all that stuff, I appreciate it. But the second layer, which is building and all that shit, it's just something I can't vibe with because it's just too many disconnections, with certain ideologies, and I don't like to get too autistic. I just like to say, hey, I'm a guy that likes to make money. I'm a guy, I like capitalism. I like the free market, right? Yeah, I know, some shit will happen that's bad when the free market happens, but it's just whatever. I think for myself. I don't care what other people's sexuality is gonna be. I've always been that person,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I just
So.
don't. So yeah, I mean, and if that means other Hispanics are not going to be successful, hey, so be it. Because I've never really been the type to really care about other Mexicans or other Hispanics. It's not me. I'd rather care about myself first.
Okay. So before we get into the issue of helping out Hispanics, and if you could look at the private chat, please, I'd appreciate it. So before we get to the part of helping out fellow Hispanics, do you nevertheless still believe in helping out your fellow man, whatever race or ethnicity he might be? Do you more or less agree with that? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hold up. Hmm. Alright, so it looks like he is out. I don't know what happened. We'll try to get him back on. But yeah, so the discussion here is kind of one that's we've been having for quite a while. This is not particularly anything new. Ah, okay, he's back. There we go. There we go. You're back.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
My bad, my bad. Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, so taking out the ethnic and racial element out of it, do you still agree on the premise of helping out your fellow man, no matter what his race or ethnicity is?
Mm, if yeah, I mean, if it's serious, if I see somebody on the floor, dying, or if I see somebody hurt, if I see an old lady walking in the street, yeah, I'll help. But in terms of money, seeing a homeless person that's in his 20s, 30s, well fit, or people that are poverty
Yo.
stricken, honestly,
What up?
no, not really, man. Because again, my family, they've come from being dirt poor, and they made it to middle class in America. So, and my dad kind of like installed that mentality into me, because my dad, his brothers, they're all businessmen, and they grew up poor, and now they own restaurants, right? So I mean, so they taught me is don't be a victim, don't feel sorry for people, don't feel sorry for yourself. So to answer your question, no, only if it's something serious like life threatening, But for people that already know on fucking food stamps and shit, nah, I don't feel sorry for one bit. I don't care, you know.
Same. Hey, what's up? What's up, everyone? What's up, guys? You guys hear me?
Hey, what's good, Henry?
It's a little crackling, but yeah, we can more or less hear you.
Let me just
How about now? Does it sound the same?
Yeah,
Can you
good
guys
Sounds
now.
hear me?
good. You now we good. You good?
Oh, we're good. We're good. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah, yeah.
I got in, but Kiki, what's up, man? What's good? How's everything?
What's good?
Happy New Year, bro.
What's good, Henry?
All is well. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy New
Um,
Year, guys.
no, I just got in, but I heard something about not caring about people on welfare and food stamps. Is Henry okay? I haven't seen him around lately. Hey, L Dog, what's up? What's up? All is well. Just been busy working. Um, I'm doing well, dog. Yeah, no, I mean, look, hard work is a great equalizer. I mean, you know, I have members of my family who showed up to this country with $10, and today they have
Mm-hmm.
money in their pocket.
Yep.
Pocket change.
Same story.
They can feed, they can feed their family, kids. There's nothing to complain about, right? And I always ask him, all right, it's if you think about your coming of age story in the United States, I mean, when you were broke, did you ever think about like you're not gonna feed yourself tonight or you're gonna go to sleep with empty stomach? And they're like, no. Um, it's funny because even with money, I don't think about that, right? I was always thinking about hustling and uh, going at it, if you will, at work. You know, so like, yeah, hard work is a great equalizer. That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
All right, look, let me give you props for something. So I'm assuming that you own a business, or you've worked with someone who owns a business, like your dad or your cousin or your tío, that type of thing. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
So I guess in a way you are helping out your fellow man by giving him a job. And I'm assuming that obviously you treat your employees well, they get paid well. Working environment is fine. No abuse, no like getting underpaid or overshift, that type of thing.
No, no, no. And I do help my man, and most of the time they do happen to be the same race as me. But honestly, it doesn't even cross my mind. The if they're Mexican or if they're a different race, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care if he was white or a different race, black. Yeah, if he's a good worker, I'll hire him.
Right, that's coincidental. Okay, well, I mean, so
Nor,
you do.
I mean,
Sorry.
nor should anyone. I mean, you want to hire the best man for your company, the best man for the job
Mm-hmm.
in your company, right?
Absolutely.
If you're facilitating, actually hiring, your job is to put the best person in that position so they can do their job. None of this.
Yo, I
Yo.
think he's cutting off.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But I mean, I think at the end of the day, you could at least understand that there is a benefit of having an ideology out there in the ether that advocates for us, whether you agree with it or not. Because I mean, you could say, "Oh, it's all about me," I don't really care about other people, but like that homeless guy that lives in your town, like he's there and he can cause a nuisance or whatever if he's not taken care of. And I don't mean taking care of him like, oh, let's kill him or whatever. Like taking care of him, like we put him in a shelter, we try to like get him back on track or that type of thing. So, oh, sorry, you're gonna say something?
No, no, no. I'll let you finish, or
Yeah.
talk now.
I mean, don't. I would just like you to not dismiss the idea of having Hispanic unity too easily, because even if it may not directly benefit you, it may benefit you to have a sort of ideology where, like, say for example, you have a son, and for whatever reason is interested in business. He wants to be, I don't know, like a Wall Street guy type of thing. And you know how these Wall Street groups kind of are. They're kind of closed. They have their cliques already. They have the Yale people. You have the Harvard business people and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And
So,
and unless you're in those groups, then you're pretty much out of luck, right? But what if, for example, there was a Hispanic equivalent of that, where you can help? We could take your son in there, and we can like make him part of the group, and now he's kind of in Wall Street and he's doing his own thing. So, there is a benefit to collective thinking. It
yeah.
can go too
So,
far. Sorry.
yo, no, no, so I'll say this. What you brought up. So where I live,
I mean,
I
plus
I live in
you're
South
explaining
Texas. So
that's
it's
not
like majority Hispanic where I live. And here in South Texas, it's about 90% Hispanic. So
nepotism.
I never had to think about race that much in business. You know, 'cause everybody's Hispanic here. So I think I actually do live in an area where you do see, where I guess the crowd of businessmen, or entrepreneurs, they are Hispanic. The elites in my city, they are Hispanic. So I never had to think about, oh, should I create a circle, a business
Nice.
circle just for Hispanics? I never had to think about that, and I do think that type of stuff is a bit cringy because it's kind of like that's the same thing these leftist um African Americans do of this country, and I just find that a bit cringe because it's just like you're kind of like playing victim. You're kind of like, oh, we can do it too. We can do it too. I'm just like, it doesn't matter to me. But
But
where I live, yeah, there's a
by
lot of Hispanic
chance,
entrepreneurs.
because Chichi, you mentioned you live in a majority Hispanic area. Was it for you growing up? Was it a surprise for you to see a non-Hispanic in your area, whether it was in school or in business? Was that like a culture
Yeah.
shock by chance? Mm.
Um, Honestly, I would see white people, and it wasn't that much of a shock. But if I would see different races, yeah, it would be kind of weird. Because in Texas, like
Mm.
South Texas, it's like 90-80% Hispanic, and then the rest is white. Then that 1%, you'll be like Asians, Arabs. Like that's rare to me.
And the other races, what was like their like economic, like were they like
Yeah,
in better positions than Hispanics, worse? Did you see some like
yeah.
homeless white
So
people, black people?
no, no, no. I
Mm.
would say this. So where I live, it's not that known, but there's a lot of opportunity in certain areas, right? So the only people that come here, they're gonna they're gonna come here unless they get paid real good, because people don't want to live where I live because they're not used to it. It's so far away from the big cities like San Antonio, Houston. It's like 6 hours from those cities, right? So where I live, it's like disconnected from the rest of America. So outside, like if you're not Mexican, you really don't want to live here because you're not gonna feel comfortable unless you have a good paying job, right? So the different ethnic groups I do meet, yeah, they tend to be upper middle class because they get offered good jobs to come, right? Um, but yeah, but I'll do see um like I'll see Cubans or like Central Americans that live where I live, and they're like in the same class, or like lower middle urban class, whatever. But if we're talking about like Indians, Asians, white people, even Black Americans, the ones that come down here where I live, they're all upper middle class. because they get good paying jobs.
Now, wouldn't you say that? Because from what you've told me, in terms of the ethnic like the demographic makeup of where you live, it's kind of like it's like you're the Hispanic fish swimming in the Hispanic water. You know what I mean? Have you heard the phrase like "fish don't know they're swimming in water" type of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah. So in a way, you already have a thing that a lot of Hispanics and a lot of Hispanistas would like to have, but don't. It's to have that little piece of the U.S. kind of carved out and made into your own image, and I understand that you personally did not like make South Texas that way. It's just always been that way for the longest time. So I guess it's difficult for people outside that, for example, say Billy, to like understand your perspective, and because obviously he lives I'm assuming he lives in a very white city. He definitely lives in a very white state, or at least in a very white region. And so for him, in order to feel any sort of sense of community, he has to, like, it's hard for him. I don't even know what he has to do because I don't
uh,
know the Midwest like
well,
that.
I'll I'll say this, right? So this is what people said in the circle. So they say culture matters more than blood, right?
Right.
So Billy's blood, people say, is Colombian, right? That's his blood, but his culture, from he was a little kid growing up, his culture was American. It was Midwestern American, right? That's why he sounds the way he sounds. That's why he acts the way he acts, and that's why he doesn't speak the best Spanish. And it's nothing against his, him speaking English. I'm not, it's that's just him. Don't be ashamed to be an American. So I don't get why he doesn't feel a sense of community when if you take away his looks and if you take away his blood, he should be able to get along with 99% of white people in the Midwest if what the Hispanistas say is true, that culture matters more than blood, right? So that thinking, right, that concept, shouldn't it apply to Billy, who, he's a living example of that.
It should, but he's trying to, I guess, if this makes any sense, he's trying to quote unquote change his culture, going off by what you're saying, right? So he doesn't want to be a white guy for his own personal reasons. I understand that he may have some quite valid reasons, in fact. Maybe he always felt like an outsider. Maybe he felt like he never really fit in with the Midwestern white kids. Never mind any other type of race that wasn't Hispanic. Never mind trying to fit in with the blacks, with the Asians, with the Arabs. And maybe he just always had this longing to fit into a community, because obviously, for those who know who he is, not personally, but just like the persona he has kind of shown himself on the internet, like he's been in some kind of crazy communities, right? And then so obviously this is kind of the case for as of someone of my generation. So I've felt this too, who wants a sense of belonging, a sense of community, because of the internet age. You feel very alienated, you feel very atomized, and so maybe Billy did not see himself within the white community, and he
But
felt
but
sorry.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm saying,
No,
but
I'm done.
why wouldn't? So why wouldn't he though? If what it says is true, that why wouldn't whites in the Midwest accept them if looks don't matter? And many people's different worldviews, they say, why wouldn't his personality, his language, why wouldn't it uh,
No, but
be able to coexist
it
with
will
different
matter.
Midwest whites?
It will matter to the white kids, because that's the whole point. That's the whole point of why he would join a Hispanic group, because the white kids do see him as different because of his race. And so he wants to reject that, I'm assuming, right? He's like, okay, I'm not white enough for you, then fuck you. I don't want to be with you guys regardless. If you're going to try to make me if you're gonna judge me based on my pigment or like how many ancestors can I trace myself, if I can trace myself back to the American Revolution or when the Mayflower hit or whatever, right? Like if my friendship is gonna be based on that, then I don't want to be here anymore. Like I want to go somewhere where something other than that matters. You know what I'm saying? So exactly, as Puerto
But
Rican Rum
it's
says,
just
because
different.
the Anglo worldview is different.
But okay. I know what you're saying, but it's just like conversations you see on this YouTube circle about all the going back to the 17th century and all that stuff. You don't have those conversations in real life, man. I've grown up in Texas. I've grown up around some white people, and honestly, like, I mean, you talk to them, and it's just like we don't talk about that stuff, and honestly, I mean, I'm not looking for their acceptance, but sometimes they they kind of accept me, and they don't like like they'll call me friend or whatever, right? And I'm not sitting here trying to be white. It's just like we have similar taste in our football or some shit, right? So it's just like we don't have these weird like, dude, like real life situations, like it's not like autistic. Like we're not talking about how far can we go back from the 17th century. Like in order to be somebody's friend, you just have to have the same personality. Like, and that's what Billy is. Like Billy has the personality, he has the accent, he has the language of an American, a true American, right? And most Americans, they don't care about that stuff. Like they don't care. I mean, yeah, he does look a bit Hispanic, right? But it's just like, dude, most white people don't really care about that, man. And I feel like Billy would fit in. I mean, he does fit in with most white people, right? So at the end of the day, it's almost like, what's the point of this whole Hispanic stuff? Like what's the point? Like there's no point to it. Like you're not Hispanic. And I
There's
want
no
to say
point
another
for
thing.
there's no point for
Another
him, or there's no point in general. Like the ideology does not make sense, or
It doesn't make sense. Well, for his case, it doesn't make sense because there's a reason why his family came to America, right? And he's kind of like this. He's ruining it, right? He's ruining it, and not only that, but he's kind of like rejecting his American reality. Shit he says, like, okay, for one example, on his Telegram channel, this happened during the summer where a couple of U.S. soldiers got killed in the Middle East, and this guy on his
Uh-huh.
Telegram channel posted a picture of one of the U.S. Marines dangling from a helicopter with the noose around his neck, right? And then he
I
said caption
disavow.
on the caption he
I,
said "Death to America," but I'm like, dude, you're American. Like everything about you is American. Yeah, go on.
no, no, I'm in agreement that I think that's that's just bad taste. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth to show dead troops. I mean, moreover, to say death to America, I disavow that. I mean, I live here. I want to do well here, so I don't, why would anyone say death to America, right? If,
Yes.
if if they're
So
living here and doing well here, you know what I'm saying? It's like, let's be logical.
it's just it's weird, different people have joined Rancho Circle, and it kind of like made it worse in a way. And I'll give another example. And I sent you the video, you know, and it was, oh, I mean, if you can play the video, but first I'll explain it real quick. So there's this new guy around. His name is Marcus something. He has like a Russian or fake Russian last name, and this guy was on multiple lives claiming he was from Sinaloa, or his family was from Sinaloa, claiming he was an Afro Sinaloense, talking about he had a Sinaloan mafia grandpa. He's a communist. He's a pan Americanist, or he's for Hispanidad. I don't know these terms, man. I'm not an incel, but he was saying these different shit, and then, well, play the video so we can get we can get a better picture of what we're dealing with, right? If you
oh,
have the
hold on,
video.
give me a minute. Yeah, I got the video. Just give me a minute. Okay, let's see if it works like this. Oh no, wait, hold up. God damn it. Okay, wait. Let me see if I can do the shit like this. No, fuck off, FA. Fuck off. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me. see. Can you guys hear something?
No, 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 no,
No?
no, no.
Press play. I can't hear it.
Wait, hold up. God damn it. Okay, hold up. Wait, how can I do this? Um. God damn it. Okay, hold up, hold up. Did you guys not
Yeah,
hear
I'll
anything,
talk
really?
in. No, but just get it working, and I'll talk in the meantime. All right. So, it's good. It's good. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, so I'll break down the video, then he'll show it in a bit. But this Mark guy, he's not who you say he is. He's his the guy in his picture is actually a Dominican American comedian from New York City. That's not his real picture. And this guy went on lives saying he was an Afro Sinaloense Mexican American. He was saying he's a communist. He was lying about his identity, and worse enough, Billy was in here saying he met him. Right, Billy was out here saying that he met him in person, that he knows him, that's his face, and y'all can see the video when Klaus does get it on the screen that this guy is, how can you trust people like Billy and like this Mark dude when I mean they're frauds, they're liars, right? How can I trust people like that? You know what I'm saying? Um, and it's in
Wait, was
typical
he saying
communist fashion.
he was
What?
Dominican?
I think you're cutting off.
Is that right? Dominican? He had a picture of a Dominican and it wasn't him? Oh shit, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, no. Okay, so what happened was this Mark guy, if you know who he is, he tries to be a Mexican American
Mark.
communist from the Southwest or some Marxist or whatever. Yeah, Mark. So he has a picture up of a Dominican comedian from New York, and he, and the comedian, he's like a mulatto Dominican, right? So, anyways, people in the comments were like, "You're not Mexican, I mean, you look mulatto, right?" People, the shit people say, and this guy was like, "No, I'm Afro Mexican from Sinaloa." Right? But I'm like, why would you lie about that? Like you just got exposed for that not being you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you lying about that? It's just weird. And worse enough, not Klaus, I mean, Billy is the one that brought this dude in. He brought him in this circle. He brought him in these lives. They tried to, for first of all, to get this fake dude claiming to be a black Sinaloan Mexican, and for two being a communist. It's just a bunch of like mentally weird people in the circle that Rancho let in. But play the video.
All right, let me see if it works, bro. Let me know if y'all hear something. Like if you hear the video.
But that's how much of a
That's
fucking
his
fag
face.
you are,
I
bro.
know him. I met
That is
him.
my
That's his face.
face. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, we hear it. We hear it.
You have a tweet as a
Slayer.
Shut the
Slayer.
fuck up,
I met him. I met him in person. That's his
fucking nigga,
face.
fucking faggot. That's what I'm
Oh
trying
my
to say, bro.
god.
This bitch just talk shit, bro. But he won't even show his fucking face. That's how much
That's
of a
his face.
fucking
I met
pussy he is,
him.
bro.
What are you
I'll
talking
spit in his
about?
fucking mama's
You
face
wouldn't
and he
spit in
won't
my
do
face.
shit about
Really?
it, bro.
Hold on. No. Shut
I'll
up.
spit in your
Slayer. Hold on. Slayer, hold on. You want to spit in
fucking
his face?
nigga, fucking
No, you
MZ
cannot.
is his MZ Ultra, bro. He won't even show his fucking face and he's talking
That
shit,
is
bro.
my
I
face.
came here.
That's his.
I came
I've
in here.
met him. That's
That's
literally
literally
his face,
literally
dude.
me. I
He's
don't
a
have a
fucking
webcam.
pussy. He's a fucking pussy. That's what
Dude,
he
I've
is,
met
bro.
him.
That's
That's
what I
That's
said.
literally
that's
him.
me,
He's
He won't
bro.
show his
Yo,
fucking face.
literally, and me.
That's it, right? So I'm gonna tell you what I see here, right? Um, Talking about Billy and this Mark character, I see two guys that aren't Hispanic. In in my opinion, right? They're not Hispanic in my opinion. They talk white, they act white. It's whatever, right? They're not Hispanic. They're making these lives. Billy's telling this dude, "Hey, put a picture of a mulatto in your profile pic, and say he's Mexican, right? And better yet, say you're a communist too, right? Or it probably is his communist friend, right? And what they're doing is they're like kind of like infiltrating the Mexican community on these channels, right? And what they're doing is they're brainwashing these young Mexican kids, right? This little Hispanic kids. And I feel like we don't need that
Yeah,
that
break.
fucking weird
So
that
break it down. What?
Hold up before we go any further. I just want to say good evening to Fighter. I don't know who the CTM guy is. I don't know, bro. But yeah, what up, Fighter?
Yeah, but
Hey, Fighter, ¿qué lo que? ¿Qué lo que?
¿Qué lo que? Dime a
¿Qué lo
ver.
que?
Nada, tranquilo, acabé de correr ahora, estoy en mi física, tengo que perder muchas libras.
Este
¿Y
frío,
cuánto
No,
falta de perder?
bueno,
¿Y cuánto te falta?
para yo competir de nuevo en mi deporte, tengo que perder como
Okay,
50.
yo vi a Fighter,
tú
Fighter
estás
ahora
fuera,
está...
tú estás fuera de la
¿Me
calle
escuchan?
tratando.
¿Me escuchan? ¿Me escuchan?
Sí, yo te escucho.
What's up, guys? It's me,
Yeah.
Corky.
Yo, guys. All right, so back to the topic. Sorry, we got a little. So you were saying, bro? Sorry, we cut you off there.
Oh no,
Okay.
I was just
yo,
jogging, came back from my workout.
Yeah.
Check y'all out.
All right, so Chichi, you were saying, bro?
all right, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oh, 'cause that's what I was saying again. So what I see in that photo is two non-Hispanics, right? Two non-Hispanics trying to infiltrate Hispanic communities. You know, especially in our case, the Mexican community, right? Talking about how there's a Afro Sinaloense. This guy's making up these stories like his grandpa or his great grandpa was some Sinaloa mobster. I'm like, bro, you're not from Sinaloa. I showed people from Sinaloa that video. They're like, this motherfucker's not from Sinaloa. We heard him speak Spanish. He sounds like a fucking Caribbean. Like it's just these dudes, man. They're fucked in the head, right? Billy is fucked in the head. All right, this guy's American. He talks like one. He hates his own self, man. He hates his own self. He lies. All right, all these stories he tells you on Twitter, it's lies, right? And I can prove it because he just fucking lied right now when he was talking about he met this dude named Mark. And this dude Mark, that's not even him in the photo, right? And Rancho's letting in these fucking clowns, right? And then Rancho wonders why I left. And they wonder why I don't want to do business or I don't want to accept the offer to do business with them. Like, I don't want to do business with fucking mentally ill people. That first is Billy dude used to lie and say that, he used to go around pretending to be some fucking Chinese girl, some Chinese girl on Twitter, some Chinese communist girl on Twitter. I mean, the dude thought he was white for a fucking decade, right? And now he's bringing in people to lie about being Mexican. These weird ass commies lying about being Afro.
But but is that dude in Rancho circle? I think he's more like in Billy's circle though.
No, because he's been on Rancho's lives before.
And has he told Rancho like, yo, I'm a black Sinaloense? Like,
I mean, dude, he says he's Sinaloense. He says he's Mexican. All this stuff, and
you're talking about
he's Afro.
The guy had a Dominican comedian profile picture. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, but
yeah. He said he was
Sinaloense,
but no, not the guy in the picture. That's the Dominican comedian. He's famous.
Dude, we all knew that.
No, I just looked at the picture. I'm like, I've seen this guy on Dominican comedy.
Yeah, so you've seen it. But yet this dude Billy was out here claiming him though. Like he was claiming that guy in the picture as Mexican, and this smart guy was trying to be Mexican. Like this guy, dude, you seen the video right now? He was talking about how he's Mexican. That's him in the picture. And if you watch the live video, the different lives episodes that they did, they're like, when they bring up this dude's face, they're like, yeah, seen it. Like they're like, yeah, Sinaloa has black blood. I'm like, dude, that's not him, you fucking moron.
So Chichi, on the record, you think this smart guy is not a Mexican? You think he's something else?
I don't know. I don't know what he is, man. But I don't know why Rancho is allowing people like Billy and this Mark dude in his circle when they LARP, right? They fake as different characters, and then they're not well in the head, right? And look, I know this ain't Rancho's fault what I'm about to say, but it's more so about Billy. But Billy, he needs to come to accept his reality that he will never ever be more Hispanic than he is American because he was born in America. He was born in the U.S. He's American, born and bred, right? And he needs to accept that. And it's not just him. There's a lot of people in that circle that think that they're Hispanic. Now, me, I grew up in the fucking border in Texas, right? So this is how it is out here, right? Me, I speak, like I don't have this best Spanish either. I speak Spanglish, but I'm not trying to be something I'm not, right? So every time I go to Mexico, even my family, my fucking grandpa or my aunts and uncles, they'll call me American or gringo, right? So I even have cousins. They speak Spanish just like a fucking paisa. And when they go to Mexico, they're called American and gringos. Actually, the Mexicans out there in
I
Mexico, they get
mean,
offended. They get offended when we quote unquote Chicanos call ourselves Mexicans, right? That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. That's the way Mexicans are, and I'm pretty sure Colombians are the same way. And if Billy is being true, because I actually
yeah,
kind of
the
like I don't really believe
Dominicans
him. What?
Dominicans are like that as well. I mean, the
Yeah,
Dominicans are
yeah,
like that. They would say you're Dominican York. You're from New York. You're not
yeah,
you're from the island.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I know what
So,
you're
but what
saying.
I'm saying is, yeah, yeah, boss. What I'm saying is, if Billy, because I don't really believe a word that comes out of Billy's mouth, and I just showed y'all an example why, because he lies to the people. But he said he went to Colombia, right? And if he really did, which I doubt, people in Colombia wouldn't accept him either. All right, just come on, like they wouldn't accept him. I honestly think they would try to mug him. I mean, if he went to Mexico, they would mug him probably, right? I've almost been. People almost
Nah,
try to
nah.
mug me
He
when I go to
did
Mexico.
he did go to he did go to Colombia. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it is what it is, but you know what I mean. Like you can't really trust a guy for everything he says when there's proof out there of him being a liar and a fraud, right? So, but yeah,
Okay,
he did.
but let me try to offer the counter argument. So, I mean, you hang out with the MXBC crew, right?
I talk boxing with them, and yeah, I do hang out with them in more boxing
Oh,
circles. But as far as their
okay.
ideologies and politics and all that other stuff, I don't really care about that stuff, man.
Cause they lie a lot too. Like when they faked Coco Tyler's death, and so they did this whole ass campaign of Coco he got killed by he got
Yeah, the
electrocuted.
the
You know what I'm
difference
saying?
the difference with the MXBC is the MXBC isn't trying to be the serious circle, the serious movement. It's just a thing full of young kids. Like they're not trying to be serious, right? So what Momento Hispano does, they try to be serious. And at first, it was a good circle movement, but then they let in these mentally deranged people like Billy, like this Mark dude, and plenty others that don't accept the reality. Right? They're not American. I mean, they're Americans. They're not Latin American. They're not Hispanic. I live 30 minutes from Mexico. Every time I go there, even my cousins who speak perfect Spanish, what are we called? We're called Americans. We're called gringos. It is what it is. And people get offended. I notice like certain people get offended, like Chicanos, they get offended. I'm like, don't get offended. Like that's just the way Hispanics are. They're like upfront,
Yeah, yeah.
That's just how
No,
it is.
that happens to me too. Like if you go to my hometown, you go to Melgar, Tolima, they call me a gringo. You know, because I used to live in the
So
U.S. Right?
they
I
have
still live in the
to
U.S. So.
so they have to accept the reality. I mean, a lot of people on
Yo,
this
but
in this
hold up.
panel.
So Nazmao says MXBC also defended a pedo. What's up with that?
I don't even know about that, honestly. I don't know anything about that.
¿Qué es lo que hay? ¿Aló? ¿Me escuchan?
Who's this?
El rancho.
Rancho.
¿Aló?
Okay. So yeah, can you hear me?
¿Cómo está el pollo frito? ¿Me escuchan? ¿Aló?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. What's going on, man?
Nothing. I'm just out here saying. I
Hey,
mean,
what's up,
you saw the
Rancho?
video yeah. So you seen the video I presented of this
Not,
guy you had in your panel, where he's pretending to be a Mexican or a biracial Mexican from Sinaloa, and claiming he's a communist too. And I mean, you're letting people like this in your circle. I mean, I know he probably didn't know, but look, what I told you about Billy all along. Hey, it's true. This
I don't
dude's
know
a
what video
fucking
you're
fraud.
talking about.
All right, Klaus,
What,
put the video up again.
But why are you so bothered by Billy, dog? Like for me, it's like you seem obsessed with him, dog. Like why do you pay him so much mind?
Claus, put the video up.
Like I don't.
Claus, you there?
People who annoy me, like I don't really.
Right,
I try not to pay them much
face,
mind.
I know him.
All right, play the video. Yeah.
That's how much of a
That's his face. I know him. I
That
met
is
him.
my
That's his face.
face. Fucking idiot. You have
Slayer, I met him. I met him in person. That's his face.
Faggot. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. This is talk shit, bro. But he won't even show his fucking face.
That's his face. I met him. What are you
I'll
talking
spit in his
about?
fucking mama's face. And he
spit in
won't
my
do
face.
shit about
Really?
it.
Hold on. No. Shut
I'll
up.
spit in your
Slayer, hold on. Slayer, hold on. You want to spit in his
fucking
face?
nigga, fucking MZ Ultra, bro. He won't even show his fucking face, and he's talking shit.
That is
bro.
my face.
I came here.
That's his.
I came
I
here.
met him. That's
That's
literally his face,
literally
dude.
me. I don't have a
fucking
webcam.
pussy. He's a fucking pussy. That's
Dude,
what he
I've
is,
met
bro.
him. That's
what I
literally
think.
him. He's
Bro,
And
me.
Yeah. So you see right
Yo.
here. So I'm gonna explain the video. Yeah, go on, Claus. Yeah.
Yo, hold on, wait. Not that you mentioned that shit. Hold on. Yo, Slayer don't even show his face, bro. Now that I think about it.
That's MZ. He's the guy who went in on Slayer and like kind of tore him down and was talking shit about Salvadorians, and then the Salvadorians got offended because he called him a banana eater.
That has nothing to do with this. That has nothing to do with the conversation. Yeah, I know.
No, I'm not saying it has to do. I'm just saying that's who MZ is. I remember him. Yeah, he came on my panel when I had I think it was when the thing with Whack 100 and I did a show. He came on there. Well, what about him?
So what I was saying back to the video about whatever, Slayer doesn't show his face, but that's not the point. But the point is, Billy was out here claiming he met this MZ dude, right? And this MZ dude was on these fucking different episodes talking about how he was from Sinaloa, that he's a fucking communist, that he's a Afro or triracial Mexican from Sinaloa. I'm like, why the fuck would you tell so many fucking lies, right? Why the fuck is Billy bringing in his communist friends from Twitter and bringing them in these circles and telling them, hey, pretend to be Mexican, pretend to be from Sinaloa, right?
Are
or
you
pretend
saying
to have,
that MZ's not Mexican?
Sinaloense blood. What?
Are you saying MZ's not Mexican? He's Mexican, dog. You can just tell by his voice.
Look at his face.
Yeah, but that's not his picture. That's a fake picture.
Then why were they saying it was his picture? He was going around on Twitter. He was going around all these fucking YouTube episodes talking about that was his picture.
I don't know, dog. People bullshit. People lie online. I don't know. What the fuck? Like, most people are not transparent about who they are online, dog. But you could just tell MZ is from LA and he's Mexican. You could just tell by his voice.
I don't know, but look, that's not really. I don't really care about that. What I do care about is why, these people are mentally deranged. Why Billy bringing in his commie friends, trying to
dog. Come on, how are you gonna call these guys? But how are you gonna call these guys mentally deranged when you deal with a bunch of incels? But what about all the incels you hang out with who post dick pics and got black dicks on their phone? Come on, dog. Like, are we gonna talk about mental health?
You're screaming again. All right, so look, let me go on about it.
I'm just talking normally, dog. I'm in my car. It's noisy, and this is the volume that I speak at.
Billy was talking about how he wanted to be white for 10 years. Now he's talking about he makes fun of dead U.S. soldiers when he's more American than anything. Now he's bringing in communist dudes to tell fake stories online about he's a Sinaloense, talking about he's a communist. I'm like, only a fucking mentally fucked person in the head would do that shit, all right? He's mentally deranged. If MXPC is mentally deranged, I don't really care. That has nothing to do with Billy being mentally deranged, right?
I agree. I totally agree. If we don't care about MXPC being mentally deranged, why do we care about Billy? Why is Billy special? Like, why is Billy a matter? Why does Billy get in your brain? Hold on. I'm asking you. Why does Billy get into your brain? Like, if you don't like him, stop paying attention to him. Like, at a certain point, I realized that Chivo's a retard. At a certain point, I realized that Radical's a weird person.
the whole point
and
of
I
the
stopped
panel
paying
was
attention to
the
them.
whole point of the panel was the whole point of the episode was Klaus brought me in, and I was gonna talk about why I don't agree no more with the Hispanidad movement. He brought up Billy, and I was like, okay, you brought up Billy. I'm gonna show you a video I have of him being a fraud and a liar, and I used him as an example as why him and
Yeah,
many of
I
the
know, but my
panelists,
question,
they're
to you,
Americans and they don't
Chichi,
accept it.
Chichi,
They're
Chichi,
Americans
my
and they don't
question to
accept
you
it.
is, my question to you is more on a personal level. Why do
It's
you
not
like?
about that. That's not what the
Why do you
panel's about.
bother?
That's not what the
Why
panel's
does it
about.
bother you? Why does it bother you? Is the
The
question
panel is
though?
not about that. The panel is not about that. We're having a good
I know, but
conversation
I'm at. This is like a side note.
on why the Hispanidad movement is flawed. We're having a
Okay,
good
so
conversation about
you're
that.
saying so are you saying I can't ask you this question? I can't ask you why do you
It
pay so
doesn't
much
make
attention to
it
Billy
doesn't matter.
if he
What
bothers you?
It
happened?
doesn't matter.
What
It
happened
doesn't
is
really
that
matter though. It
So
doesn't matter.
I can't ask you that question then. Okay, I got it.
It
I
doesn't
don't
matter.
remember. I don't remember the details exactly, but Billy was talking a lot shit behind a lot of people's back in a certain on social media somewhere. So that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Dog, but are you telling me you guys don't talk shit about other people's back? Like, come on, niggas. I know you niggas stay talking shit, bro. Come on.
I mean, I don't
That's
talk
not
shit
the
about it.
point.
I don't have. I don't. I really don't have time to talk shit about anybody anymore.
But
Okay,
I'm saying like,
worse.
but the accusation you just made can be made
And
against a lot of you guys. I mean,
and a lot of the guys wanted to have a private dialogue with Billy about it, and he didn't want to deal with the issue.
Well, he
Right.
ducked,
I
but
don't know.
yeah. But anyways, look
again, for me, I just don't understand. Like, for me personally, when somebody like
yeah,
I
it
think
doesn't
they're
matter.
retarded, I stop paying attention to them. You know, that's simple.
Yeah. Look,
Like,
look. So, anyways,
I changed the channel.
the whole episode. This episode wasn't about why I hate Billy or this and that. No, what I'm talking about is why I. They wanted to know why I left the Hispanic circle, and I brought up 2 points before I talked about Billy. Where I
Let's keep
used
it on
Billy
that
as an
topic.
example, and what I was talking about was I prefer capitalism and the free market over this Hispanidad, whatever shit, right? And then the conversation got brought into people on the panel, your panels, that don't want to accept their American reality. And we use Billy as an example. And then I brought up, like,
I wouldn't
come
say
on,
that
like
Billy doesn't
Rancho
want to
led, wait,
accept
hold up.
his.
Rancho,
What?
I said Rancho led in a lot of mentally deranged people in his group. And Billy is like the biggest one, along with this dude named Mark, along with other motherfuckers that go in it, right? They're not right in the fucking head. And I just gave
Yeah,
you like an example, like right there.
that's. I get it. That's your opinion. That's your prerogative. You're
Yeah,
free
it
to
is my
have it.
opinion.
I mean,
Yeah.
all right, that's cool. And so, I mean,
All right.
what do you want me to do about it?
Nothing. I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, thanks for
why are
sharing.
you defending Billy then?
How am I defending Billy specifically? I mean, you're the one
Then how
saying that
Then how come you came on?
because I extend a hand to him. I came on because we're talking about MZ, and I'm just trying to put it together, and then I realized, oh, this is the guy who was on this thing, and I heard you said that he wasn't Mexican, and I'm like, wait, what do you mean he's not Mexican? I can just tell by the way he sounds he's Mexican. And I heard
you don't know that, man.
he actually.
You're cutting off.
Yeah, I think he cut off.
Yeah, you're cutting off. But look, the whole MZ thing, I don't care who he is, but we can't just have dudes coming in here pretending to be a black Mexican from Sinaloa that's a like pushing this communist ideology. It's just weird. And Billy's telling these dudes, his commie friends, to come in here. You know, come in these movements.
I think that guy. I don't think he said he's a black Mexican. He just said he's kind of a zombo. Like, I mean, there's Mexicans who are kind of zombos.
But he was pretending to be the guy in his picture and saying he's Mexican, saying he's Dominican.
I mean, bro, like, I get it. Like, but I don't understand why we got to zoom in on that. I don't know. I don't know the context of it. Is this the internet? People aren't transparent about who they are. Like, I think I'm the only person that puts his name and face on the internet.
If you don't know about the context of it, then you don't. You have nothing to do on this panel. Then that wasn't. I don't care about his context. I don't care who he is, what he was. All I'm saying is Billy's a fucking weirdo for bringing in these dudes pretending to be Zambo
Well,
or
from what I
communist
know,
Mexicans from Sinaloa.
MZ is he actually does adhere to Marx's Leninism, I believe. I think that's his Spurgy political ideology. And from what I know, he found Billy through Caleb Maupin, who's like a political commentator on YouTube. I don't know. I don't think they're actually friends in real life. I think he just found Billy, and then that's how he found my stuff.
Well, then,
I mean, I'm willing to
Billy's
engage
a
in
fucking
conversation
fraud.
with everybody. I've had
Well,
conversations. I've had conversations with FBA people. I've had conversations with white nationalists. I'm willing to have conversations with anybody. It's just few people are actually willing to have conversations with me.
It doesn't.
You know,
Yeah,
they usually
whatever,
duck
right?
me.
It's what. Yeah, well, yeah, it's whatever, right? But Billy, I mean, then why is Billy out here claiming these fake black or Triqueño Mexican communist characters?
I don't know. He seems to have been trolling. He seems to
Yeah,
have
not
been
trolling,
trolling
man.
Slayer. Like, is there rules? Is there
No,
rules
'cause-
to engage in trolling? Like,
Because
I don't know.
no, because this dude Mark was in other episodes, other live streams, saying he was Mexican, saying this other shit, saying that's him in the photo. All this other shit, saying he's an.
I don't know. You'll have to take it
Well,
apart.
now that Noel,
it's weird, man. It's a bunch of fucking weirdos.
Hold on. Now that Noel is said that, like, yeah. So what is the line that you cannot cross? Because otherwise, then it's fucked
Like,
up.
what are the rules for trolling?
Because Slayer keeps saying he's white. I mean, like, and we're supposed to believe him. Like, nah, me. So, but anyways. Okay, Chichi, let's kind of wrap this up, and we'll do an asado afterwards because this got derailed really quick. So, your criticisms of Hispanismo, what are they, and how can we improve, basically?
It's a criticism for myself, or okay, the criticism of the whole movement was primarily Rancho letting in mentally deranged people like Billy and his friends, right? They ruined it. But my first explanation, right, of why I left Hispania, that was more so me being a capitalist, being in the free market, and all the other shit, right? And what the Hispanistas say is, hey, in order, for Hispania to prosper, we have to work together as a society, right? We have to kind of have these laws in place where there is a forced hierarchy, where social mobility is not going to be easy and different stuff, right? Which, hey, honestly, that might actually be the best way for society to work, right? But for me personally, I don't care about society. I care about myself. That's why I'm a capitalist, right? People call it selfish, but it is what it is. You can't really change the mentality or the upbringing or the personality of a guy that believes in what he believes in at the end of the day, right? So, but that's my critique, but it's my own personal critique. I'm not saying it's bad for other people, right? But what I am saying, what's bad for other people is, I mean, don't join a circle that has fucking weirdos in it, like Billy and this Mark dude, right? That, I mean, you can't fucking trust them. They're fucking weirdos, pretending to be other people, right? Kind of like this. It's just weird. Like they're pushing their agendas as different races. Billy got exposed already.
How many people? But wait, again. But look, we're getting derailed. You're spazzing out on Billy again. Like, we get it, dog. You don't like Billy, but the things you're launching at Billy is silly, dog. How many aliases does East Coast have?
Why are you defending him?
I'm not defending him, dog. I'm trying to get you to take I'm trying to take you to loosen up your jaw. Because you're spazzing out. You're spazzing out. No, it's weird that you're obsessed with somebody that you don't like. No, sir, it's weird that you're obsessed with somebody you don't like. That's what's weird about it.
No,
I don't know.
Every time I bring him up, I told you,
dog. But it sounds.
They ruined the circle, right? He's not Hispanic. He's American, man. It is what it is. You have to accept it, right?
All right, guys.
But listen,
all right.
But what I was gonna say too, right, about the reason why I kind of fell out, it has to do more so with me and my own personal ideologies, right? And I would rather choose my own freedom over Hispanidad prospering, right? Even though it's unrealistic, it is what it is, right? That's why I fell out. I appreciated the history lessons; those were fantastic, right? Your readings on Jose Vasconcelos and all those other guys, they were great, but when we moved to the second layer, it just wasn't for me. And then that's why I was explaining because the episode was about why I left the circle, and that's why I did it, right? And then the third point I brought up was, yeah, for other people that are young Hispanics, don't really join this movement because the movement got fucked by mentally deranged people like Billy and his friends that joined. You know, it is what it is. They ruined it.
Okay,
I would
can
argue,
I respond now?
Yes, sir.
Am
yes, sir.
I'd just like to give a response. I never believed in a movement. I've always been very explicit that this isn't a movement. I've actually never called myself an Hispanista, particularly because I find it weird. I don't see how I can make an ideology out of my ethnicity. All I've ever done is shared with the internet what I've observed about how my ethnicity functions, right? I find it weird. I kind of clash with some of these LARPy Hispanistas on the internet because they make an ideology out of like living, right? Like I don't understand how somebody can do that and makes it LARPy, which is why I've avoided that label. Now, I am Hispanic, and what I can do with the world at large, whether they're Hispanic or not, is share with them some of these observable phenomena as to what makes us Hispanic, what is Hispanic, what isn't Hispanic, et cetera, et cetera. That's essentially all I've done. There's never been a movement because I frankly think movements are gay. They start and they stop. All I've ever really offered, the audience at large is a consciousness of self, to see yourself ethnically. And, whether you want to use that for your advantage or not, it doesn't matter. It's just, once you see yourself ethnically, and I get it, you're young, it's easy to be an individual when you're young, but once you start getting older and you actually start competing for resources in the real world, then you start looking for people who you can build teams with in order to compete for those resources. And when you share an ethnicity with someone, then that team building comes naturally, as opposed to somebody who's from outside your ethnicity. So that's really all it's been. I would never call this a movement. I would never adhere to an ideology based off my ethnicity. I'm just sharing with people our ethnic sense, our ethnic self.
Cool, cool. So the whole group, whatever you call it, the whole channel, being panelists, whatever you call it, right? This whole little circle, right? I'll call it a circle, right? They ruined it, and I'm just explaining why I left it, and I'm explaining why. Well, the first two layers was why I kind of left the whole Hispanic that circle was because I'm more of an independent person, and I'm not gonna take away my freedom just for different Hispanics to become successful, and this is not my style. But the last point I was making is young Hispanic kids, whatever, just kind of like stay away from these YouTube circles because a lot of mentally fucked person or people, especially like Billy in these circles that you don't want to be around.
Hey, I need my subscribers up, bro. Don't tell them that.
They pretend to be. They pretend. I mean, like Billy, like this dude was morphing as different characters online.
Okay, we get it. So look, let's just conclude here. I'm literally gonna open a stream in like 2 seconds after I finish.
I wanted to say one thing because I was having a conversation with someone who's on the cusp of Zoomer and millennial about this kind of phenomenon because I didn't come into this thing with any specific intention. I was just on Twitter and kind of I guess the circle did form organically, spontaneously, and then we kind of took that off Twitter onto YouTube. And I was talking to this this young man, this younger brother of mine, right? And he was explaining these differences into Zoomers and millennials. And, I would kind of add to what Chichi just said that, and I've said it long before like the fallout or even long before Billy even came into the Discord, was that my content is not for Zoomers. Like my content, I would really like to be a good influence on Zoomers, and I'm willing to help Hispanic Zoomers, and I'm willing to help them and offer them whatever I have to offer them. But really, my content is not for Zoomers. And actually, I've looked at my channel stats. Most of my audience is between 25 and 35. My audience, my content is really aimed more for millennials. And if you're a Zoomer and you're viewing my content, I think you're gonna not be able to really grasp it. You're gonna get snagged on something, and you're gonna like spurg out when you really didn't need to, and it's all because you don't have the proper perspective to understand where I'm coming from, because I'm 10 years ahead of you, right?
No, but the convo wasn't about that. Like,
But
look,
it's okay.
I'm just
He
adding
gave us
to it.
yeah, he just gave us his final
okay,
thoughts.
yeah.
I
That's the final
appreciate
thought,
that.
which is cool. And
So
look, but what I was gonna say too, again, like the first 2 points are brought up, right? I don't expect, like, it's not really a critique. It's just my style. And then y'all are wondering why I left it, and then that's why, right? The third critique I already told y'all, right?
I don't think who was wondering. I wasn't wondering. Was Klaus wondering?
But that was, it doesn't matter. Like, you weren't on the panel, you joined the panel, so.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm asking. Who was wondering?
It was me and Klaus and Henry. It was an idea between us three to do it, right? It wasn't.
okay. Anyways, whatever. So we're done. We're concluding this. I'm doing an aside right now. Don't worry, guys. We'll keep the smoke coming. All right. Thank you very much for joining. All right. We'll see you there. Peace.